The funeral was suffocatingly quiet. No birdsong, no breeze. Just the slow creak of pews as mourners shifted uncomfortably in their seats at St. David's Chapel in a sleepy Oregon town. A girl's framed photo sat beside the coffin. 12-year-old Lily Grant. Her smile was bright, too bright for this moment. Mia Harper stood in the back, arms folded, her detective's instinct prickling. She wasn't here officially, just an old friend of Lily's aunt. Still, something felt off. Too perfect. Too choreographed. Then it happened. A sharp, guttural bark sliced through the silence. Everyone turned. Rex, the German shepherd retired from canine duty just last year, lunged from the side aisle, dragging his leash from the grip of an elderly man. "No, Rex, stop!" the man shouted. But Rex was already at the coffin, growling, barking, pacing like a sentry on edge. His ears twitched, his tail stiffened. The crowd gasped. One woman clutched her pearls. A child started crying. "Somebody get that dog out of here!" snapped Father Thomas Whitaker from the altar, voice shaking. Not angry. More like panicked. Mia's gaze locked on the priest. Why the fear? "Rex," she said softly, stepping forward. The dog turned, eyes intense, then looked back at the coffin. He barked again. A low, insistent sound. Not random. Deliberate. "Let him be," Mia said. "He's trying to tell us something." Father Whitaker descended the steps, robes swaying, face pale. "This is a sacred ceremony, Officer Harper. I will not let an animal— He's not just any animal," Mia said. "He's trained to detect narcotics, explosives, even blood." Murmurs rippled through the congregation. Father Whitaker's hand trembled as he clutched the rosary. Mia took a step toward the coffin. "I need to open it." "You don't have jurisdiction," Whitaker said sharply. "Maybe not, but if that dog's reacting like this, we have a bigger problem than jurisdiction." Rex whined, pawed at the base of the coffin. A woman sobbed. A man stood to object. But Mia ignored them. "Do it," someone whispered from the crowd. "Let her check." Reluctantly, 2 funeral staff approached. Whitaker stayed frozen, beads of sweat on his temple. His knuckles whitened as he gripped the edge of the pulpit. The lid creaked open. Lily lay inside, angelic in a white dress. Her hands folded over her chest, but Mia's eyes narrowed. There, on her wrist. "Zoom in," she said, pulling her phone's camera close. Small puncture mark, faint bruising around it. The mortician shifted uneasily. "Must be from the embalming process." "No," Mia said. "Too deep, too clean." Then she pulled back the collar. A second bruise, circular, compression. The crowd started buzzing. A few gasps. A man swore under his breath. "What happened to her?" Someone cried. "She drowned," Whitaker said too quickly. "She was found in the river. It was a tragic accident." Mia turned sharply. "Then why does she have injection marks?" Whitaker's jaw tightened. "I wouldn't know. I wasn't there." "But you were at the camp," Mia said. "Weren't you?" The room froze. Whitaker faltered. Activities, that's all." Rex barked again, now staring straight at Whitaker. Mia leaned closer to the body, noticing a folded piece of paper beneath Lily's hands. She carefully slid it out. A note, crumpled, water-stained, but legible. "He said if I told, I'd never come home." Mia's breath caught. She looked at the priest. He backed away. "No," he whispered. "You don't know what you're doing." Rex growled low, inching forward. "I think I do," Mia said. And so does he. Whitaker turned to flee, but 2 officers stepped in, locals Mia had called earlier when she sensed something was off. "You're not going anywhere," one of them said. Whitaker's mask shattered. Panic replaced piety. "You don't understand. It's bigger than me. You're putting everyone in danger." "What did you do to her?" Mia asked. "I didn't touch her," he snapped. I helped them keep it quiet, that's all. I swear!" "Helped who?" Whitaker said nothing, just stared at Rex, whose eyes burned with silent fury. Outside, sirens howled. Mia looked down at Lily's face. Peaceful. Too peaceful for what she must have gone through. She reached over and touched Rex's head. "Good boy." He sat, quiet now, tail still, like justice had taken its first breath. The chapel erupted in chaos. Reporters swarmed. Parents screamed. Officers escorted Whitaker away in cuffs. But Mia stayed beside the coffin, silent, her fingers still on the note. Whatever had started here wasn't over. Not yet. And Rex? Well, Rex had just begun barking. The precinct buzzed with tension. Phones rang, boots scuffed against the linoleum floor, and somewhere near the back, Rex sat still as stone, eyes fixed on the interrogation room's closed door. Mia Harper paced outside the room, replaying every second of the funeral in her head. Injection marks, a hidden note, a priest unraveling in real time. Her gut had been right. But now, the hard part started, proving it. Inside, Father Thomas Whitaker sat hunched in a metal chair, face buried in his hands. Across from him, Captain Ray Delgado stared him down. "You want to start talking?" Delgado asked calmly. "I've told you everything." Whitaker mumbled. "It wasn't supposed to go this far." "You mean she wasn't supposed to die?" Delgado leaned forward. "Who's she? Clara Grant? Or another one we haven't found yet?" Mia opened the door and stepped inside. Whitaker flinched. Rex, from behind the glass, growled softly. Mia's presence always sharpened him. "You knew she was in danger," Mia said, crossing her arms. "Lily wrote a note. Said someone threatened her if she talked." "She was lying," Whitaker said quickly. "Kids make things up. She's dead." Mia snapped. "And Rex doesn't lie. He barked at her coffin like something inside reeked of fear." Whitaker slammed his fists on the table. "You think you're so righteous, but you don't know what you're dealing with." "Then enlighten me," Mia said. A long silence. Then Whitaker whispered, "The camp. It's not what it seems." Delgado narrowed his eyes. "What about the camp?" Whitaker's gaze flicked toward the mirror. There were people, investors, sponsors. They paid to keep the camp going. But it wasn't for charity. It was for access. Mia's blood ran cold. Access to what? To the kids. Silence hit like a freight train. Delgado cursed under his breath. "You're telling us there was a trafficking ring tied to a church-run summer camp?" "I didn't know at first," Whitaker said. "But once I did, I stayed quiet. They said if I talked, the whole parish would go down. My career. Everything." "You let a child die," Mia said, voice shaking. "I didn't kill her." "But you didn't stop it either," she replied. Whitaker sank into the chair, defeated. Rex let out a single bark from outside, sharp, controlled, like he knew. Mia stepped out of the room, jaw tight. Delgado followed. "We need to follow the money. If Whitaker's right, someone higher up's been funding this, maybe laundering through the church." "I'll start with the camp records," Mia said. "Donor lists, payroll, anything that connects." "And Rex?" Delgado asked. "He comes with me," she said. "He's our best lead detector." Later that day, Mia and Rex arrived at the old summer camp in the woods outside town. The place had been shut down after Lily's death, but the chain-link gate hung open. "Too easy," Mia muttered. Rex sniffed the air, then took off down a gravel path. Mia followed close. He led her past cabins with broken windows and graffiti, into the old arts and crafts building. And then he stopped, right at a trap door under a rotting rug. Mia knelt down, heart pounding. She yanked it open. Stairs. Stone. Damp. She drew her flashlight. "Rex, with me." They descended into a basement no one had mentioned. At the bottom, mattresses, blankets. A surveillance camera bolted into the corner, and in the far end, a locked cabinet. Rex barked once. Mia kicked it open. Inside, stacks of photos, files, birth certificates, schedules. She pulled one folder free. Lily Grant. Age 12. Photo attached. The page beneath? Charlotte Vega. Age 9. "She's not from here," Mia whispered. She snapped photos with her phone, sent them to Delgado. Rex sat beside her, alert, watching the shadows move across the stone walls. Then Mia saw it, scribbled on the back of Lily's photo. "If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it. But maybe you still can." Mia stood, clutching the folder. "We're blowing this wide open," she said. Rex wagged his tail once. Just once. Silent confirmation. Outside, a black SUV rolled past the camp's entrance, slowing as it neared the gate. Someone was watching. But Mia didn't flinch. She had Rex, and they were just getting started. The wind howled through the broken windows of the basement as Mia flipped through folder after folder. The walls seemed to breathe around her, thick with mold and secrets. Rex paced, nose low, tail tense. Something down here unsettled him. That meant Mia stayed sharp. She crouched near the cabinet and pulled another file. Same format. Different child. Timothy Blake. Age 10. Another. Marissa Cole. Age 11. Every photo bore the same expression. Blank eyes, stiff posture, like they'd been forced to smile. She snapped more photos with her phone. Names, ages, photos, strange code scrawled in the margins. Then she heard it. A distant crunch. Gravel. Rex growled, low and guttural. Mia shoved the folders back, closed the cabinet, and killed the flashlight. She crept to the trap door. Rex followed, tail down, body pressed tight to hers. Another crunch. Closer. Mia peeked out through the crack. 2 men. Flashlights. Tactical boots. Not cops. "Did they say she was alone?" one asked. "Her and a dog," the other replied. "Big one." They walked past the arts and crafts building, toward the main lodge. Rex nudged Mia's leg, eyes locked on the path leading out the back of the basement. An old service tunnel. "Good boy," she whispered. They slipped out silently, Mia ducked low, hand on her sidearm. Rex moved beside her like a ghost. The tunnel opened into the woods. She checked behind. No lights. No sound. But something about their movements. It wasn't random. Someone had tipped them off. By the time Mia and Rex reached her jeep, her phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You're in too deep, Harper. Walk away while you still can." She stared at the message. Then she blocked the number. Back at the precinct, Delgado met her in the war room, eyes wide as he scanned the photos. "Jesus, Mia, this is big. Bigger than we thought. It's not just the church," Mia said. "There's structure, organization. They're labeling these kids. Did you notice this?" Delgado pointed at one page. This symbol. Looks like a crest. Mia leaned in. It matched the pendant Father Whitaker wore. Delgado clicked on his laptop. I ran it through an emblem database. It's linked to a private foundation, St. Mark's Trust. Never heard of it? Most people haven't. Registered in Delaware. Dozens of donations to orphanages, rehab centers, and camps. Mia's voice dropped. Shells. Laundering fronts. He nodded. And guess who sits on the board? Don't say it. Delgado turned the laptop. Mayor Ethan Caldwell. Mia blinked. No way. He spoke at Lily's funeral. Friend of the church. Public ally of youth programs. Rex barked sharply from under the table. Delgado chuckled. Even the dog smells bullshit. Mia stood. If we go after the mayor, we need more than these files. We need testimony, surveillance, proof of movement. Delgado's tone darkened. We may not have time. Whitaker's been transferred. State custody. What? Too dangerous to keep him here, apparently. Mia cursed. They're silencing him. We still have one lead. Delgado said. A girl who ran away from the camp 3 months ago. Disappeared off the radar. But we just got a hit. She checked into a free clinic 2 counties over. Name's Charlotte Vega. Mia grabbed her keys. I'll drive. Rex was already at the door. 2 hours later, the clinic came into view. Small, quiet, sandwiched between a pawn shop and a tire store. Mia walked in. Badge flashed. The nurse nodded toward room 3. Inside, Charlotte Vega sat curled on the exam table, hoodie pulled over her knees. She looked up when Mia entered. Wide eyes. Tired. Rex padded in slowly, head tilted. Charlotte stared. Then her lip trembled. You're the one from the funeral, she whispered. Mia nodded. I'm here to help. I know what happened to Lily. I know about the camp. Charlotte's shoulders shook. They said I'd die if I ever talked. You won't, Mia said. Not with us. Not with Rex. Charlotte reached out, fingers trembling. Rex stepped forward and nuzzled her hand. And then the dam broke. Tears, words, names. They had cameras, rooms underground. They called it the program. They sold footage. And the priest, he wasn't the worst one. Mia's jaw tightened. Did you ever see Ethan Caldwell there? She asked. Charlotte nodded slowly. He wore a mask, but I saw the ring, same as the commercials. Delgado's voice crackled through Mia's earpiece. Mia, we got company. Caldwell's car just pulled up outside the precinct. They're trying to spin this, she muttered. Charlotte looked up. You believe me, right? Mia stared into the girl's eyes. More than anyone ever will. She pulled out her phone, started recording. Tell me everything. And don't stop. Outside, Rex stood at the door, watching, waiting, ready. The video Charlotte recorded was raw. Her voice cracked, but the details were undeniable. The ring, the mask, the crests, the pain. Mia stared at the footage playing back on her phone. Delgado stood behind her, arms crossed, jaw tight. We need to go public, Mia said. We do that now. They bury us in lawsuits and NDAs before dinner. Delgado replied. She named the mayor, Delgado, and the priest. That's not a coincidence. I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm saying they'll kill this thing if we don't play it right. Mia turned to Charlotte. Can you stay hidden? Charlotte looked over at Rex, who sat beside her like a silent sentry. I feel safer with him than I've ever felt with a person. Rex's ears perked. A low, steady growl vibrated in his chest. Mia turned just as the back door swung open. 2 men in grey suits. One carried a clipboard. The other had a holstered weapon barely concealed under his jacket. "Miss Harper," the clipboard man began. "We're with the State Welfare Division. We're here for the girl." "No, you're not," Mia said. "We have authority under Article." "She's under federal protection now," Delgado cut in, flashing his badge. "Since when?" "Since 5 minutes ago," he lied. The suited men exchanged a glance. Tension crackled in the air. Then Rex stood, hackles raised, no bark, just a stare that promised pain. They backed out. "That dog," one muttered, "is going to get someone sued." Mia locked the door behind them. "Not before he gets them bitten." They relocated Charlotte to Delgado's family cabin deep in the woods. No phone towers, no signals, just trees and silence. That night, while Delgado slept in the front room, Mia and Charlotte sat by the fire. Rex curled at their feet, breathing steady. "I didn't think anyone would believe me," Charlotte whispered. "I do. Even when I ran." "You didn't run. You survived." Charlotte hesitated. "There's something I didn't tell you." Mia's eyes narrowed. "Go on." "The basement. At the camp. There's a vault. I saw Whitaker put something inside. A book. Thick. With tabs and papers. He said it was his insurance." "You think it's still there?" "He said if anything happened to him, the truth would out itself." Mia stood. "Then we're going back." Delgado protested. "Are you crazy? That place is probably under surveillance now." "All the more reason they wouldn't expect us. Rex and I will go in. Quiet. Just get the ledger and get out." Delgado rubbed his face. "You're playing with fire." "Good," Mia said, "because it's time they get burned." They parked a mile out. Midnight, fog rolling in like waves. Rex was a shadow beside her, silent and alert. They moved through the woods, careful not to snap a twig or rustle leaves. The camp looked deserted, but Rex didn't relax. Basement door, locked. Mia picked it fast. Door creaked open. They moved down. Same mildew stench, same flickering bulb above the stairwell. Rex sniffed, barked once, sharp and clipped. He turned left, toward the old filing room. The cabinet was gone. In its place, a freshly poured slab of concrete. Mia swore. Then she noticed the ventilation shaft. Low, rusty, but open. Rex crawled in first. Mia followed, twisting sideways until the duct opened into a dark chamber. A safe. Metal. Heavy duty. Rex sat and stared at it, tail wagging once. Mia crouched. The keypad was dusty. No prints. She tried a few combinations. Birth dates. Church codes. Nothing. Then she remembered. Whitaker's first sermon had been titled Psalm 23. She keyed it in. Click. Inside, a thick leather-bound journal. Tabs, photos, receipts, names. She flipped it open. First name, Lily Carter. Second name, Charlotte Vega. Third name, Ethan Caldwell. Suddenly, voices upstairs. Footsteps. Fast. Mia shoved the book in her bag. Rex growled. She pulled her weapon. A figure appeared in the doorway, but it wasn't security. It was Father Whitaker. Bruised, sweating, bleeding from a fresh cut over his brow. "What the hell?" Mia began. "They're coming," he said, breathless. "They know you're here." "Why are you helping me?" "Because I thought I could control it," he said, eyes desperate. "I thought they'd stop at money, but they started taking kids. And now they want me dead." Rex growled louder. "How do I know you're not setting us up?" "Because I brought this." He held up a USB drive. "Everything I couldn't write down, every meeting, every threat, every payment. Mia took it. You testify? I don't think I'll make it that far, he said. But you might. Gunshots echoed outside. They found your car, Whitaker said. Mia turned to Rex. We're going out the tunnel. She shoved the priest forward. Behind them, footsteps thundered. Voices shouted. Rex led. Mia followed. Whitaker stumbled behind. They burst out into the woods. Mia fired a few rounds to slow pursuit. Headlights. Delgado. He'd brought backup. Rex jumped in first. Mia pulled Whitaker into the back seat. Drive, she barked. And they vanished into the dark, chased by silence and the fire now burning behind them. The cabin was silent except for the steady hum of the generator outside. Delgado paced the living room, watching the shadows twitch across the walls. Rex lay near the door, ears up, alert. He hadn't slept since they returned. Mia sat at the kitchen table, the ledger and USB drive open in front of her. Names, payments, coded references to special transports and donors sprawled across the pages. Whitaker sat across from her, trembling, holding a mug he hadn't sipped from in 10 minutes. Tell me about Ethan Caldwell, Mia said. Whitaker flinched. He was a donor, big one, but also a collector. Of what? People. Young girls. The kind who wouldn't be missed. Mia's eyes burned. And you let it happen? I didn't know, he whispered. Not at first, Delgado muttered under his breath. They always say that. Mia flipped another page. One entry stood out. A payment to a shell company in Kansas. This company, Ascension Holdings, what is it? Front, Caldwell's warehouse, Whitaker replied. I only went once. It was horrifying. We'll need proof. There's security, guns, dogs, real ones, not Rex. Rex growled, offended. He's more human than any of you. Mia snapped. Delgado moved to the window. We can't take on Caldwell's compound with 3 people and a dog. I have someone, Mia said. Old friend, DEA. You trust him? No, but I saved his life once. She picked up her phone, dialed. A sleepy voice answered. This better be good. Logan, it's Mia. Silence. Then, what's wrong? I need firepower. And backup. Fast. Another pause. I'll be there by dawn. By 6 a.m. Logan pulled up in an unmarked Suburban, stepping out in jeans and a worn ranger's cap. He looked at Rex, then back at Mia. Still dragging that mutt around? Rex saved my life twice this week. Don't disrespect him. Logan raised his hands. Fair enough. Delgado briefed him while Mia packed gear. Charlotte handed her a folded note. What's this? Mia asked. Charlotte looked down. Just in case you don't come back. Rex whined softly, nosing Charlotte's hand. I'll come back, Mia said, slipping the note into her jacket. They arrived at the Ascension warehouse just before noon. It sat isolated on a flat patch of desert, chain-link fence topped with razor wire, cameras in every corner. We go in through the drainage tunnel, Logan said. Caldwell keeps the front clean, but the real goods go through the back. Mia nodded. Rex and I will scout first. Wait, what? Logan balked. You're taking the dog into a fortified warehouse? Delgado cut in. Rex has a better nose than any tech you've got. Logan looked at Rex again. Rex stared back like he understood every word. Fine. Just don't get shot. The tunnel was tight. Dark. Mia crawled beside Rex, whispering directions. He moved confidently, nose leading. They emerged into a storage room. Boxes lined the walls. Some marked medical equipment. Others had no labels. Rex sniffed, then barked once. Loud. Sharp. Mia opened the nearest crate. Inside. Documents. Photos. IDs. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Girls, ages, medical notes. Assigned values. Her stomach turned. She photographed everything. Sent it to Logan. Then froze. Footsteps. Voices in the next room. She slipped behind a crate, holding Rex close. A guard stepped inside. Tall. Armed. Rex growled. The guard turned. "Hey!" Mia lunged, tackled him. A brief struggle. She slammed his head against the wall. He dropped. "Time to go," she whispered. They sprinted back through the tunnel. Sirens blared outside. Logan's voice buzzed in her ear. "They know. You've got 60 seconds." She and Rex emerged into chaos. Gunfire. Delgado returning fire behind a tipped vehicle. Rex darted toward a man aiming at Mia, teeth bared. He launched, took the man down. Mia fired at another, dropping him. Logan shouted, "We've got what we need. Get to the car!" They piled into the Suburban. Tires screamed as they sped off. Mia clutched the camera in her hand. "This is it. This is the evidence." Logan nodded grimly. "Now we take down a giant." From the back seat, Rex panted heavily, his coat stained with dust and blood. But his eyes gleamed, ready for what came next. The motel room was dimly lit, blinds shut tight. Logan's laptop cast a bluish glow on the worn table. Delgado paced near the door, weapon always in reach. Mia sat with Rex curled at her feet, eyes darting across the screen. Names, documents, bank transfers, everything they found in the warehouse. "Every girl has a code," Logan muttered. "Shipment dates. Caldwell's private plane. This isn't just trafficking. This is systemic. And Lorenzo's in on it," Mia said flatly. "His name's all over the offshore accounts." Delgado scowled. "A priest running logistics for human cargo. That's a new low." Rex growled. "Yeah, buddy," Mia said, running a hand through his fur. "I feel the same way." A knock at the door. 3 taps. A pause. Then 2. Delgado moved fast, gun drawn. Logan opened the door. Whitaker. He stepped inside, looking shaken. Paler than usual, holding a manila folder. "You won't like this," he said, tossing it on the table. Mia opened it. Inside, photographs, grainy surveillance stills. Clara, in a hospital bed, eyes wide with fear. And standing beside her, holding her hand, was Father Lorenzo. "You said she died in a car crash," Mia whispered. Whitaker looked away. "That's what the papers said. What he said. But it's a lie." "She was taken," Delgado said, eyes narrowing. "She was pregnant," Whitaker added. "She refused to give up the baby. Caldwell had her sedated. Lorenzo gave her last rites before they induced, then sold the child." Silence. Even Rex seemed frozen. Mia's hands shook. "How many others?" "Dozens," Whitaker replied. "Maybe more. The church paid to keep it quiet. Lorenzo's been moving money through a fake orphanage in Louisiana." Rex stood up suddenly, ears stiff. "What is it, boy?" Mia asked. Then the window shattered. Gunshots. Everyone hit the ground. Logan pulled his weapon. Delgado returned fire through the busted glass. "Sniper across the street!" Logan yelled. "Exit through the back!" Delgado shouted. Rex barked and bolted toward the bathroom, pushing open a loose panel Mia hadn't noticed. "Follow him!" she yelled, grabbing the drive and folder. They ducked into the crawl space behind the wall, crouched low. Dust, wires, pipes. Rex led the way like he'd mapped it himself. More shots echoed. "Go! Go!" Logan urged. They burst out behind the building into a narrow alley. Tires screeched behind them. Delgado opened fire again. A black SUV reversed fast and peeled away. "They know we have everything," Mia panted. "They're cleaning house." Whitaker doubled over, coughing. "I should never have come. They'll kill me." "Then you help us stop them," Mia snapped. They crammed into Logan's truck. Rex jumped into the back like a soldier on command. "Where now?" Logan asked. Mia hesitated. "New Orleans. We find the orphanage. We take Lorenzo down." "And Caldwell?" She stared out the window. "One monster at a time." They drove through the night. Every hour, Rex would rest his head on Mia's lap, sensing her unease. They arrived by morning. The orphanage was nothing more than a 2-story colonial building with a fake playground and a locked gate. Logan hacked the security feed. "No kids. Not one." Delgado scanned the surroundings. "Looks like a shell. Place is too clean." Mia and Rex circled to the back. A faint whine escaped Rex's throat. He pawed at a cellar door. "Something's down there," she said. Logan picked the lock. The door creaked open. Dark stairs led down into a concrete basement. Mia clicked on her flashlight. They descended slowly. The air grew colder, smelled of bleach, metal, and fear. They turned the corner. Holding cells. Empty now, but blankets. Scratches on the walls, child-sized shoes. Mia's stomach flipped. "This is where they held them," Logan whispered. Delgado shone his light on a corner. Blood. Dry, but not old, Mia turned to Rex. He stood still, tail straight, nose twitching. A single bark. Then from behind them, footsteps. A voice. "I warned you." Father Lorenzo stepped out of the shadows. No collar, no robe, just a silenced pistol. "You shouldn't have come here." Mia's eyes didn't leave him. "You're a monster." He smiled. "You think this ends with me? Caldwell owns senators, judges. You'll disappear like the rest." He raised the gun. But before he could pull the trigger, Rex lunged. No hesitation. He sank his teeth into Lorenzo's wrist. The gun clattered to the floor. Lorenzo screamed. Mia dove, grabbed the weapon. "Don't move!" she shouted. Delgado kicked the priest's legs out from under him. Logan zip-tied his hands. Rex growled, blood on his muzzle. Lorenzo gasped. "He's just a dog." Mia stepped over him. "No, he's justice." She turned to Logan. "Get the files. We bring this whole thing down." Rex stood beside her, unflinching, unbroken, and ready for more. The safe house was dead silent. Outside, dawn had barely broken over the Mississippi River, its waters still and ghostly under a rising mist. But inside, tension simmered. Logan slid the USB drive into the laptop. Delgado stood watch at the door. Mia sat with Rex beside her, his eyes sharp, ears twitching at every creak. "You sure you want to see this?" Logan asked. Mia nodded. "We came this far." The files loaded slowly. Hundreds of documents, videos, transaction logs, names of buyers, victims, officials, and at the center, Senator Richard Caldwell and Clara. Clara visibly drugged, being forced to sign a document. Another video, her unconscious body being wheeled into a private jet. A date stamp, 2 days before her supposed accident. Mia looked away, her hands trembling. Rex whimpered, placing his paw gently on her leg. "He's the one who silenced her," Logan said quietly. "Lorenzo covered for him, but Caldwell runs it all." Delgado leaned in. "We go public now. He'll bury it." And us. No, Mia whispered. We need someone on the inside. Whitaker sat in the corner, silent, pale, guilt written all over his face. You used to be his fixer, Delgado said to him. Help us burn him. Whitaker nodded. Slowly. I know his system. I know where the real ledgers are, and I know his weakness. What is it? Mia asked. Legacy, Whitaker said. He's announcing a charity tonight, a foundation for missing children funded by blood money. He'll be there. A public event? Logan said. Too risky. Or the perfect cover? Mia said. We leak just enough to get attention. The rest we deliver in person. Rex barked once. A decision. Nightfall. Caldwell's Gala. A rooftop terrace above a private hotel in Baton Rouge. Music floated over marble floors. Guests mingled in tuxedos, sipping champagne. Cameras flashed. Mia walked in, elegant, poised. Delgado followed as her security. Whitaker posed as her date. And Rex? A therapy dog in a vest. Eyes always scanning. They passed the security checkpoint. Logan guided them through an earpiece. You're in. He's upstairs. Private lounge. Surveillance off at 10-minute intervals. Go now. They moved quickly. Through the crowd. Up the staircase. At the door, 2 guards. Rex growled low. Mia smiled. He gets nervous in crowds. One guard leaned in. Senator's not seeing guests. Tell him it's about Clara Monroe. That made them freeze. One stepped aside. Opened the door. Inside. Senator Caldwell. Mid-60s. Slick grey hair. Perfect smile. Snake in a suit. You've got nerve showing up here, he said, rising. Spare me, Mia said. We know what you did, and we're not alone. Whitaker handed him a tablet. The video began to play. Clara, the plane, Lorenzo, the child. Caldwell's face changed. No more smiles, just fury. You think this scares me? I've survived 3 administrations. You're nothing. You're done, Delgado said. Caldwell reached under his desk. Panic button. Rex lunged. The senator recoiled as Rex clamped down on his wrist, knocking the tablet across the desk. The alarm didn't sound. The button never pressed. Logan's voice crackled in their ears. Disabled the system 5 minutes ago. You're welcome. Caldwell screamed. Guards burst in. Get off me! Shoot that dog! Try it! Mia snapped, holding up a flash drive. Every news outlet is getting this in 10 minutes unless you back off. The guards hesitated. Caldwell bled. Rex stood between him and Mia, still growling. You think they'll believe a nobody like you? Caldwell sneered. Delgado pulled out a badge. Federal Witness Protection, he said. They will now. Caldwell froze. Mia stepped forward, eyes blazing. You ruined lives, sold children, used the church to cover it. You don't get to slither out this time. The senator slumped back, defeated. Hours later, the story broke. News anchors called it the charity scandal of the century. Caldwell was arrested. So was Lorenzo. The Safe House files went viral. And Rex? Rex was on every screen. The brave German shepherd who exposed the truth, who protected a grieving woman and helped take down a predator. A hero. Mia watched it all unfold from a quiet cafe in Austin. She scratched Rex behind the ears. He wagged his tail, content. Logan sat beside her. Delgado sipped coffee across from them. You did it, Logan said. We did, Mia replied. And Rex? She smiled. Especially Rex. A little girl approached. Is that the hero dog? Mia nodded. The girl knelt down. Rex leaned in gently. She hugged him. You saved people, she whispered. Rex licked her cheek. Mia watched. Heart full. Justice served. And healing, finally beginning. The fallout was instant. By morning, every news station was running the story. Senator Caldwell linked to trafficking ring. Priest arrested for cover-up. Hero dog uncovers scandal. The internet exploded. Hashtags trended. Protesters gathered outside the Capitol. And yet, the war was far from over. Inside a quiet motel room, Logan paced. Delgado scanned through encrypted messages on his burner phone. Mia sat by the window, her laptop open. Phone buzzing with calls from journalists, lawyers, and people she hadn't spoken to in years. Rex lay on the floor but alert, ears flicking with every noise. Too fast, Delgado muttered. They moved faster than we thought. What do you mean? Mia asked. Half the people Caldwell worked with, gone. Assets frozen. Disappeared overnight. Someone tipped them off. Someone on the inside, Logan said. Whitaker? Mia asked. No, Logan shook his head. He's clean. Scared out of his mind, but clean. Then Mia's phone buzzed again. Unknown number. She answered. Ms. Monroe, if you want to live to see tomorrow, you'll shut it all down now. No more press, no more files, no more Rex. Click. Silence. Delgado stood up. They just made it personal. They moved safe houses again. Cabin in the woods this time. No signals, no electronics, just analog maps and low whispers. Rex adjusted quickly. He patrolled the perimeter every hour, his nose to the wind, his instincts razor sharp. But Mia couldn't sleep. That voice haunted her. Logan, how did they get our number? He looked up from his map. You think I'd let that slip? That call came from a secure satellite line, military grade. So someone high level's pulling strings. Delgado said, This isn't just political. No. Mia said, It's bigger, deeper. Rex knew from the start. That coffin wasn't just Clara. It was a vault. They buried secrets with her. Delgado looked at her. You want to dig her up? Mia hesitated, then nodded. Midnight. Greenwood Cemetery. Mia and Delgado knelt beside Clara's grave. Logan stood watch with a scoped rifle. Rex sat beside the stone, silent, eyes locked on the ground. Mia's hands trembled, but she started to dig. 6 feet down. Hours passed, sweat and dirt mixed. Finally, Delgado struck metal. The coffin. They pried it open. Clara's face was serene, preserved, but tucked into the lining, a velvet pouch. Inside, a flash drive, a ring, and a handwritten letter addressed to Mia. Delgado read over her shoulder. His jaw dropped. It's not just Caldwell, he said. It's a list. Judges, CEOs, defense contractors. They were all part of it. Why keep it with her? Mia whispered. She trusted no one. Not even me, Delgado replied. Rex growled. A light flashed through the trees. Move! Logan shouted. Gunfire erupted. Mia ducked, clutching the pouch. Delgado fired back. Logan took out 2 shadows flanking the east tree line. Rex leapt into action. One attacker lunged at Mia. Rex intercepted, knocking the man down, tearing into his arm until he screamed and dropped the weapon. Delgado dragged Mia behind a stone crypt. We need to go. Now! I'm not leaving, Rex, she whistled. Rex turned, bloody but unharmed, and bounded toward her. They fled. Back at the cabin, Mia opened the flash drive. More files, blackmail recordings, payoff schedules, surveillance logs, including videos from inside the church basement, children in chains, Caldwell signing checks. And one voice stood out. Lorenzo's. He wasn't just covering it up. He ran recruitment. "He's the keystone," Mia said. "If we get him, the rest fall like dominoes." "But he's in Vatican custody now," Logan said. "Diplomatic protection." "Not for long," Delgado said. "I know someone in Interpol. If we leak the files in Rome, pressure builds. They'll have no choice." Mia turned to Rex. "You knew. You smelled it. You never stopped barking because you knew what they did to her. And to those kids." Rex looked up, eyes meeting hers. "You ready for one last fight?" He barked once, low, steady. The kind of bark that said, "Let's finish this." Rome wasn't welcoming. Mia stepped off the train at Termini Station, sunglasses low, hood pulled over her head. Delgado walked beside her, scanning the crowd. Logan followed at a distance, looking every bit the American tourist. Rex trotted at Mia's side, tail low, head on a swivel. "He knows we're here," Logan murmured through the comms. "Good," Mia replied. "Let him sweat." They had one shot. Interpol contacts had secured a window. 30 minutes with Vatican security distracted during a state visit. Lorenzo would be vulnerable. But they had to make it quick. Clean. Loud enough to trigger public attention, not so loud it turned into a bloodbath. They moved toward the old basilica, where Lorenzo was expected to give a private blessing. Inside, hundreds of tourists wandered under painted ceilings. Mia pulled the flash drive from her jacket and handed it to Delgado. "Upload if I don't come back in 10. He nodded, grim. "You sure you want to go in alone?" "She'll have Rex," Logan said, eyes on the entrance. Mia looked down at the shepherd. "You ready?" Rex wagged once, then Dill. Focused. Inside, they slipped through side corridors until they reached a private chamber. Mia knocked. No answer. She pushed. Lorenzo stood near the altar, alone, dressed in full robe. He turned slowly. "I was expecting you." "No, you weren't," Mia said. "If you were, you'd be running." "I did nothing wrong," he said softly. "Everything I did was to protect the church. You tortured children." He blinked. "They were broken anyway. We gave them structure, purpose." Rex growled. Mia took a step closer. "You think God sees what you've done and nods in approval?" Lorenzo's hand slid beneath his robe. Rex lunged. Gunfire cracked. Mia ducked. A bullet whizzed by her ear. Lorenzo screamed. Rex had locked onto his wrist, tearing the weapon free. Blood soaked his sleeve. "Call them off!" Mia shouted as Lorenzo fumbled with a hidden earpiece. He screamed something in Italian. Footsteps echoed outside. Too late. Logan kicked the door in, dropped 2 of Lorenzo's guards with tranquilizers. Delgado stormed in, laptop in hand. "Uploads live," he said. "Files are already on 6 international servers. This thing's going global." Rex released Lorenzo, who collapsed, sobbing. "You don't understand," Lorenzo gasped. "They'll kill us all." "Who?" Mia demanded, but he only shook his head. Outside, sirens screamed. Logan grabbed Mia's shoulder. "We have 30 seconds." Delgado smashed the stained glass window. They climbed out into the alley behind the church. Rex was first down. Mia followed, then Logan. Delgado stayed behind a beat too long. Gunshot, Mia spun. "No!" Delgado fell from the window, landing hard. Blood pooled beneath him. Rex barked and stood over his body, ears up. Tense. Delgado gasped. "Go. We're not leaving you. Go!" More shots. Mia turned to Logan. He hesitated, then pulled her back. They ran. Back at the safe house near Trastevere, Mia collapsed onto the couch. Her hands trembled. Logan poured her a drink, but she pushed it away. It wasn't supposed to cost lives. It already did. Clara, those kids, Delgado knew that. Rex lay silently at her feet, his snout resting on her shoe. The TV flickered. Every major news outlet was running it. Lorenzo's face, Caldwell's, video footage, wire transfers, a global network of trafficking, bribery, manipulation. The whole web unraveled in real time. Interpol raided 5 sites across Europe that same night. Lorenzo was taken into custody by Italian authorities. Diplomatic immunity revoked. But no victory felt like one. Delgado's jacket still lay on the chair, his notebook in the pocket. Mia opened it, a single quote scribbled inside. "Justice, once awakened, doesn't sleep again." She turned to Rex. "You never let this die, not even when we gave up. You barked until someone listened." Rex blinked slowly. Logan leaned against the doorway. "There's one name left." Mia nodded. "Caldwell." They found Caldwell in a Montana ranch. Remote. No neighbors. Private airstrip. Security that screamed, hiding something. Logan leaned over the drone feed. "That's him. In the north wing. And yeah, that's definitely a panic room." Mia nodded. "He won't make it to it." They moved at night. Mia, Logan, Rex. Just the 3 of them. Delgado was gone. But not forgotten. A storm rolled in. Wind howled. Rain pounded the roof as they breached the back gate. "Security grid's down," Logan whispered. "We have 15 minutes, max." Rex took point. He sniffed the door, then looked back. Mia knew the signal. Motion detected inside. 3 guards. Armed. Logan loaded the tranquilizers. "Fast and quiet." They entered. Rex struck first, silently, flawlessly. Knocked one to the floor before the man could scream. Mia tasered the second. Logan dropped the third with one precise shot. "Clear." They moved up the stairs. The hallway creaked beneath them. Mia's hand trembled on the doorknob. She looked down at Rex. "Go." Rex pushed the door with his snout. Caldwell sat in a leather chair, swirling whiskey. Not surprised, not scared. "I was wondering when you'd show," he said. "Stand up," Logan ordered. "You think I'm afraid of jail?" Caldwell scoffed. "They'll never let it go that far. I'll disappear. I have places." "You don't," Mia said. She tossed a flash drive at his feet. "Evidence, video, confessions, witnesses. You've lost everything." Caldwell's smile faded. "I'm not going out in cuffs." "You don't have a choice." Caldwell stood slowly, then bolted for the bookshelf. Rex moved faster. He launched, tackling the senator before his hand reached the trigger behind the books. The secret lever. The escape tunnel. Caldwell screamed as Rex pinned him down. Mia pulled him up. "No tunnels today," she said. 2 weeks later, Mia stood before a sea of microphones. "We're here not just to demand accountability, but to honor those who were silenced. Clara Monroe, Agent Delgado, and every innocent life scarred by power and corruption." Rex stood beside her in full canine vest, a custom badge around his neck. Rex was the first to see the truth. He barked when the world stayed quiet. He never stopped. The crowd erupted in applause. News cameras panned across signs. "Justice for Clara, hero dog Rex. No one is above the law." After the speech, a young boy approached. His hands trembled as he reached for Rex. "Can I pet him?" Rex lowered his head. The boy smiled, tears in his eyes. "My sister. She was in one of those places. She's safe now. Thank you. Mia knelt, her throat tight. You can thank Rex. The boy hugged the dog, and Rex, ever still, licked a single tear off his cheek. Back at home, Logan lit a candle for Delgado. His notebook lay open on the table, filled with unfinished plans, maps, names they hadn't chased yet. Mia sat beside him. There'll be more, she said. Always. Rex rested at their feet, eyes closed, peaceful at last. But when the wind creaked the door slightly, his ears flicked. Alert. Always ready, always watching. Justice begins with one voice. Sometimes it takes a bark to wake the world up. What's your story with a loyal dog? Join the movement. Stand with justice. Celebrate the heroes with fur and heart. Subscribe and share if Rex reminded you that even one bark can change everything. Long live Rex. Long live loyalty.